your approach to pulling the film together?
Yeah, I mean, trying to make this film after Banksy had left had kind of presented this problem of how do you represent something that already happened. But in this case, there was this massive online archive because New Yorkers had been, representing the event themselves, following him every day, as you saw in the film. So it presented this other solution, and even if we were trying to follow him, he was a moving target. We never would have been able to get cameras there in time. So it sort of made sense and became kind of conceptually part of this project, which was crowdsourcing the footage and letting it be a reflection of Banksy by New Yorkers.
So, Jack, as a director's idea, that sounds great. Hey, let's just use dozens of other people's footage. From a producing perspective, that sounds like a nightmare. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was, in some ways, we didn't have to shoot that much, all except for the interviews and some of the characters who we followed in depth, the Sphinx guys, the Kessler, and then our contributors, many of which are here tonight. And, but, really it was reaching out to everyone that was participated in this, accessing their footage, having, cleared basically, but instead of having one or two cameras that a normal documentary crew has on a project like this, we had 1,000 cameras. So we were able to get, as this film demonstrates, the public reaction to the work as opposed to just what we would capture and we were out chasing.
Great. Why don't we take some questions from the audience? Raise your hand if you've got one, and I will call on you. Yeah, right here.
So that footage was actually Banksy's footage, and that was posted on his website the day after. And that was the big reveal. So, obviously no one knew what was going on that day, and no one could film it. So the next day, and each day we post a new, either a clue or some, representation of what had happened. He posted that video, and then, those people that had bought pieces suddenly realized that they had, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of artwork. And it was, that was the piece, I think, for him, was in a way it was that video. It was sort of like the final.
Question. Yeah, over here.
We actually used the record Thriller, which had come out the year before. So it wasn't that the record was written for the film. It was mostly used for the entire. I mean, there were other songs as well from other acts. But,
and in some cases, when an artist gives us that much music, which they basically gave us the entire album, it's we're getting the credit as music by. They were. Yeah. Very specific question.
Are you a musician?
He's got a question. Here we go, right there. This film ruined those dog walkers.
I can't imagine why. I mean, they seemed like they were responsible folks. I'm sure that the dogs weren't being neglected while they were on the hunt for Banksy. Actually, I think they worked for a company, and the dog walkers were not walking dogs those days. You heard dogs. In fact, I did too. I'm assuming those are their dogs.
They may be here tonight. Kurt Brown and Julia Taylor. If you aren't here, stand up, please. But I know that their business is growing. So
a lot of people need their dogs walked.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else that we should be taking note of?
Yeah. Well, actually, can we ask all the contributors to please stand up? Everybody who is in the film or contributed footage. I know there's a few of you.
You'll recognize them all.
Big group.
So, to what extent did Banksy have any contact with you during the making of this film?
The film was made completely independently of Banksy, and that was really the point from the beginning. Beyond the fact that trying to track down Banksy is impossible, and that wasn't really even kind of our intention. But we did connect with them halfway through, and they enjoyed the film. He specifically saw it, and we heard that he enjoyed it. And we even got notes from him. So there were, and he's a director as well, so it was helpful. A lot of it was about clarifying certain points because no one had really put a frame around the entire residency before, so there were so many things, so many facts that needed to be specifically cleared and cleared up. And they even gave us some assets, and like for example, the banality of evil. No one had photographed that painting before Banksy had worked on it because it was not a significant artwork. So we needed them to actually source that for us, and they were able to give us an image of the painting before he had painted on it.
Time for one more question. Make it a good one. So you refer to Banksy as they and them. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, Pest Control is the organization that you deal with when you deal with Banksy. Holly Cushing in particular, very lovely person. And they're pest control. I mean, what they do specifically is authenticate Banksys. So if you have a work, you would present it to them and they would tell you if it is an authentic Banksy. Where were they given to you? Oh, cool, I didn't even know about that. Yes, they're real Banksys.
Can I have that?
Chris, can you talk about your career, like what you did before this film?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in this kind of style of storytelling, which is using user-generated content, telling a story that already exists online in that public space. So I had made a film before that was acquired by HBO called Me at the Zoo, which charted the rise of YouTube and specifically Chris Crocker, the first internet celebrity. And that film was made up of a lot of YouTube footage, a lot of user-generated footage, and similarly, applying this style to this film. I'm also doing a series with HBO called Sex Now, about sex on the internet, and the tradition of HBO's Real Sex. It looks at sex culture and how much it's really changed since that show was on the air because of internet technology and social media. So that's sort of my area of interest, the way I like to tell the stories.
Well, we're so proud to be the first New York City screening of this film. It's going to be on HBO Monday nights. Tell your friends. Also on HBO Go and HBO On Demand. Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up here? We've got 7 more days of Doc NYC ahead. I hope you get to see a lot more. Check out our website, docnyc.net. Thanks very much for coming. Thanks especially to Jen.